Greetings, I give blessings unto you from Lord Giratina. I am Dunsparce of the Distortion world, and we are back to resume the other part of our dark tale. An unofficial sequel, if you will, of Pokemon Cursed Black. The author by the name of Max Kid 1030. Which I'm surprised this isn't on the Creepypasta wiki. However, it's a well-written fic, and I will link to his DeviantArt page, as this is where the tale begins. We're going to name the protagonist of this particular tale Kyle. No, that was last time. His friend Tom. Yes, a Sonic EXE reference, no doubt. But it's totally unrelated because they don't interact with one another. Anyway, let's begin our tale. I am one of many Pokemon hat collectors found on the internet. I know almost all of them, including the famous Pokemon Cursed Black hack that was told all over. The story of PCB, which is now Pokemon Cursed Black abbreviated, was and will always have a huge impact on me, as it caused me to have no sleep for days with the idea of a Pokemon that can kill others. While many people try to make recreations of it, they will never capture the fright of the original. However, this is where my story comes in. I was planning on getting Pokemon White when it came out in a month, so I decided I needed to play one of the old Pokemon games before getting White. You know, because my skills are rusty and I want to get back into the game. Seeing as I had none of them, I decided to go to my local flea market to buy a used copy with my friend, who shall remain anonymous. It's Kyle! It's Kyle! While there, no one had any used Pokemon games, not even hacked ones. Depressed, I told my friend that we were leaving until he pointed out to a stand that I'd never noticed before. We went over there and asked the man if he had any Pokemon games. He said he had some and went to the back of the stand. Moments later, he gave me a used copy of Gold version, which excited me. I asked him how much did he want for it, but the guy said I could have it for free. Remember, kids, don't take free games from creepy old guys. It could be bad. Filled with joy, I said goodbye to him, and he said goodbye back. As I was walking back to the car, I started to notice the look of the cartridge. It was all beaten up, and it appeared the color of the cartridge was fading. The sticker that had Gold's artwork appeared to have almost been torn off, with two of the sides still there. Ignoring this, I got out of my car, went inside and sat on the couch, and popped the game into my Game Boy Color, and got ready to be blasted away with nostalgia. Here's where things got weird. The title screen was different, as the sky was all black, and there were no ho-ho flying on the screen. There was no copyright, and title was just called Pokemon. Strange, I thought. But I pressed on, thinking that this was a hack of Gold. Nope, it wasn't tarnished gold, but it was something totally different. When I started my game, I saw that I had 10 Pokeballs in my backpack, which was unusual, but I ignored it and went to get my Pokemon. When I got my Pokemon, a Totodile, I went to check him out, but I saw I had another Pokemon on my team. But it was one that I read about on the internet. One who I saw in the PCB pasta. It was Ghost! Da, 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 da. Yes, it was Ghost from PCB. I almost dropped the Game Boy when I saw this. I was in shock and awe when I knew that this was not only a hack of Gold, but this must have been some Pokemon's idea of a sequel to PCB, I thought. Why not? Maybe something's different with this version of Ghost. When I found a wild Meryl, I chose Ghost to fight it. Just like in PCB, Ghost had only one move, Curse. Since Ghost was in this game, I thought Ghost would have a special curse from PCB when I selected it. The screen cut to black, and Meryl's cry was distorted and slowed down. When the screen came back, Meryl was gone, indicating it died. So Curse is like the PCB version, because he didn't have to have his hit points to inflict the curse. I knew this would basically be like PCB, but after using Curse, gained experience points for it and became a level 2. You go, Ghost, you go. A thought came to me, and I figured that if Ghost could level up, that means that Ghost probably had an evolved form or two. So throughout the game, I used Cursed on all the Pokemon I could find to level up Ghost. It was up until level 16 that the Pokemon evolution screen came up. The text in the box said, "Hold on, Ghost is evolving." It took a while until the box said, "Ghost evolved into Phantom." I can't believe it. Ghost evolved into something else. Well, of course, Ghost would have to evolve into something else. I mean, it's not like he's going to be a little ghost forever. It was called Phantom, and it was very different from Ghost. Instead of it being a taller and skinnier version of Ghost, Phantom had a cloak over him like the Grim Reaper, long arms and huge claws, and he had red eyes. I figured that Phantom looked much stronger than Ghost, so I went to find a wild Pokemon to test Phantom out. I found a wild Bulbasaur. Definitely a hack. You can't find these damn things in the wild, no matter what. I was walking through Kanto. I saw that Phantom not only had Curse, but a move called Devour. I wonder what this move did. So I selected it. A small animation came up showing Bulbasaur being grabbed, and Phantom started to gorge on it and began eating it. Delicious. I was speechless, and I just looked at this for 2 minutes before the battle screen came back and it said that Phantom went up to level 17. I started to not feel well, but I pressed on, hoping that this was a sick joke by the creator. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Who knows? You're playing the hack. I started using my other Pokemon, but I began to have an urge to use Phantom and see if it had an evolved form. I could not escape the darkness. I wanted that power. So as I began, once again, and regretted to use Phantom and use Curse and Devour on any Pokemon that I could find. When Phantom reached level 31, the evolution screen came back up saying, "Hold on, Phantom is evolving." I awaited to see what Phantom would evolve into. After 2 minutes, the box in the text said Phantom evolved into Spirit. Spirit had red eyes like Phantom, and it was all dark like Ghost. He had Phantom's cloak, but without the hood. He had razor-sharp teeth covered in blood. Yes, that's right, blood. In fact, his whole body was covered in blood. His hands are covered in wet blood, and his cloak was covered in dry blood, with weird symbols on it. He also had spines growing out of his back. So he was a skeleton. Spirit had 3 moves. Other than Curse, he also had Devour and a new move called Decapitate. I found a wild Pichu and used Decapitate. I am a horrible person because I not only tested this on a baby Pokemon, but a rather cute one too. The screen cut to black, and slashing noises were heard, and Pichu's cry was all distorted, and the pitch was lowered when the battle screen came back. I almost threw up chunks when I saw a bunch of guts and organs and what used to be Pichu. I continued to use Spirit up to the climatic battle with Red. After cursing and devouring and decapitating all of his Pokemon, Red came back, but said, "You will be sorry." Yes, you will. The screen cut to black, and the screen came up with a box saying many years later. It showed my character on top of Mount Silver, but he was an old man. PCB flashbacks, anyone? My movement was slow everywhere I went. There was tombstones all over Johto and Kanto regions. There was blood everywhere, the remains of trainers and Pokemon. When I reached my town my character lived in, all the windows and doors were boarded up, but my character's house, for every other house, I went inside, and the place was bloodier. And I found the character's mom cut in half. She said to me before dying, "Run! Go." I soon went back to the spot where I started the game, and the screen cut to black. I did not listen to my mother's dying words and ran away. No, I could not. Although it would be kinda awkward, because I am an old man. How did she recognize me as her son? She must be delirious because of the death. It then showed up all the Pokemon, and all the trainers that I've cursed, devoured, and decapitated. The darkness parade of death came and went as another black screen came up. I was then sent to the ruins of Alf, where the unknown radio music played in the background. I knew walking down the hallway. I kept walking down, but I saw Red for some reason. He said this, "You've done it now, Jack." How'd the game know my real name was a mystery? Oh, was that your name? No, your name is Kyle. You just gave him the nickname Jack. I'm telling the tale, not you, Kyle. You're not Jack. I was then sent to the battle screen. I was the old man sprite from Red and Blue, and Red sent out Ghost, Phantom, and Spirit. I would have been shocked that the creator of this hack did a triple battle before Black and White were even released. But I didn't care. I just wanted the game to end. I checked my inventory and saw the unthinkable. I had no items. All of my Pokemon were gone. If I tried to run, I couldn't. All I could do was fight. All my character could do was use struggle, and if he did, he would just be hit by recoil, because he tripped and fell, and busted his nose, and stubbed his toe, and sprained his ankle. And when it was Ghost, Phantom, and Spirit's turn, they would say, ... ellipsis. When I was on the last of my health, I looked at my Pokemon, and I saw what I thought would be my salvation. Remember those 10 Pokeballs I had earlier? Well, somehow, they had the first 10 Pokemon I cursed with Ghost. Thinking they would save me, I tried to select Meryl. However, it said she was dead. That was all because she had full health. Well, no duh, because she was cursed! I tried the others, but no dice. I knew this game's way of tricking me. It was sick and sadistic. I went back to the battle screen and selected struggle. Then it said these lines of text. Ghost used curse. Phantom used devour. Spirit used decapitate. The screen cut to black one last time. I tried pressing every button combination, but nothing happened. Not even soft resetting worked. I had been stuck on this blank screen. After turning off and on the Game Boy, the only option was new game. The game erased my file, kinda like PCB, except we have 3 culprits. 4 if you include Red. I tried different combos like not evolving Ghost or Phantom, which in turn would only lead to only battling Ghost alone, or both Ghost and Phantom. I never knew someone this sadistic would ever make a game like this. This brings up a new question. The original PCB asked the question, what happens when Pokemon die? But this game, I'm calling it Doom Black. What is the question? What happens when you evolve death? The results would be catastrophic. But there's only one more thing I must say before I return to the life I once had before Pokemon Doom Black was in my hands. What would happen if I never used Ghost at all? Would I get a good ending, or would I still get the bad ending? Or would I get the same results as before? I need to find out, somehow, some way. I need to find out! And that is where our tale ends. That was a good read, and I commend you. I commend you, good sir. I hope you bring it over to the Creepypasta Wiki at some point, because it's a damn good tale. Very fun. I even had my little fun with it, of course, adding bits and pieces, you know, reactions. Kind of like Yuri of Wind would do with his bullshit Creepypasta series. He's a good man. But yes, we are done with this 2-part tale. Thank you guys for watching. As Henri Sparse would say, take care, farewell, love from the Henri Sparse Army, Hell Dunsparce. Later, everyone.